Alright, so let's see where the garden is at today, May 14th. I'm going to start over here. The pool's still closed, and I don't think I'm going to open the pool until mid-June. There's just one more layer of work that I don't need right now. So let's take a look here. The hostas are, as always, thank God, doing great. And I did add some irises back here as well, but they're getting smothered by the hostas. You can see they're in there, but they'll take off and they'll, poke through. I wanted something spiky in there. Ornamental grass is starting to sprout. I have to cut this one, I think, in half. It's way too big, and already there's that creeping vine growing in there. There's a plane overhead, so it's a little noisy. I want to do something here to cover this up, because it's like unsightly, but I need access to it, so I'm debating on what I'm going to do around. That's the filter and stuff for the pool. These are Cana right here, and you can see they're kind of flopped over because what I did was I took the whole container and I brought it in this year, so they started to grow, and then the 2 weeks I was away during the cruise, they really started to pop up, and now they're like flipped over. So I'm going to give them a little bit of time to recover. If not, I'll just cut them and they will continue to grow. You see where I cut this one right here, and it is growing already. So at least I get a head start, because sometimes when I just plant the bulbs this time, it takes them forever to grow, and then we don't get flowers until really late in the summer. I did move a lot of irises here, so right now they're kind of floppy all over the place, but they should do okay. This container I also had inside, and you can see the Dracaena here is doing pretty good. It's nice and full. This was a sedum right here, and it had got all stalky and white, so I cut it back, and again, that should be growing very shortly. And these are some geraniums that I also winterized, and again, they're a little bit stalky, but what'll happen now is as more leaves start coming out, like right in there, I will, cut them back and make them full again. And obviously, I'm going to add more to that. Some more of the irises right here that you can see, and here is the green leaf Cana, and these are actually starting to stand up a little bit better, but we do have a couple that are floppy right here, so I'm keeping an eye on them. Otherwise, I'm just going to cut them right there, and hopefully we'll have a better look. Okay, so over on the other side of the waterfall, more hostas, and you can see I planted those irises last year, and they're flowering and they are spiky the way I want them to be. More ornamental grass, some barberry here, and this tree right here is just starting to bud, and I wish I knew what it is. I keep thinking it's a Craig myrtle, but I'm not sure. It does get pink flowers on it, and it's pretty. And what I did this year was I kind of cut it back because it was leaning forward and I was getting too many flowers in the pool. Okay, English boxwood, barberry. Look at the hostas, how gigantic they are already. And here, more ornamental grass. The sedum is coming up as well. My azaleas, what I have left of them are flowering. That one is beginning to flower right there. I moved that euonymus from the side yard to this yard, and I'm hoping it's going to get a little bit more full this year, as well as, you see back there, I put those irises back there, and they're flopped over right now, but I'm hoping they'll be okay. This is another container I had inside, the Dracaena, and I have some geraniums which are coming back. That plant right there is a diplodenia, and it looks like it's going to come back. I have my fingers crossed. Also, the tubers, or the potatoes from the sweet potato vine, is also in there, and I'm hoping that they're going to sprout. But if not, I'm just going to fill these in with some additional flowers, and I have it on this side as well. It was weird. I didn't even realize that they made those tubers, the sweet potato vine, and when I was digging in there and I found them, I kind of laughed at them. But I'm going to keep an eye on them now that they're outside. I just took these pots out yesterday because, like I said, I was away for 2 weeks and it was too cold. Before I left, we were still getting nights in the 30s, and the temperatures have kind of moderated a little bit here in New Jersey right now. So we're not getting those ridiculously cold temperatures, but you can't rule it out here because the weather is nuts. This was actually, it was like a pencil, and the ShopRite was giving them out on Arbor Day a few years ago, and it's just starting to fill out right now. It's a cute little tree, and I did put some sedum around the bottom of that. And let's see, Liriope, I believe that is called, that ornamental grass. The hostas, gigantic already. They look like Jurassic Park. A more Liriope. You know what? I can't remember what this is. It's not a boxwood because the leaves are too soft. But I'm training this, as you can see, into a cone-shaped to echo the other cone-shaped shrubs that are in the area. And another euonymus that I had moved again. And you see the leaves are coming out, and hopefully we're going to get a nice full look this summer. Here are some irises that I planted here last year. And the flowers are absolutely beautiful, but look, some of them are spent already, so I will cut those back eventually. But that flower is just really, really pretty. These right here are tiger lilies, orange, and you can see they're doing really well. I have 3 of them around this little area right here, and then the hostas again, which are absolutely huge. Back there is a rhododendron, and look at that bud right there. There's a bud that's just beginning to open up, and we have the white azalea, which is located right here. If you follow me, this area I reimagined last year. I put this little walkway going into the shed, and then I just added some white rocks, against the brown rocks, just to give it a little bit of dimension and not look so flat all the time. Back there is my little garden area where I'm going to put my tomatoes, and I'm probably going to go to Home Depot on Monday. Today's Saturday. I'm probably going to go on Monday, and I'm just going to put 6 tomato plants back in there, and then I'm going to put some pepper plants right here around Marianne's grandfather's wine press machine that I have planted in as of right now. And then just a couple of potted plants. Lily of the Valley there, that spreads like crazy. And so there you go. Oh, I wanted to show you this as well. These are the Diplodenia that I tried to winterize, and as you can see, this one right here is actually budding, and it looks like, fingers crossed, that it's going to come back. These, I don't know. I mean, I cut them back and I'm watering them right now, but like I said, they were inside. I'm hoping they're going to come back, but I don't know. Doesn't look promising, because if that one is budding and these aren't, that just might be not mean that they're coming back. Here is an elephant ear right here, and as well, I had this inside, and it is beginning to make one leaf that is unfurling. Now this one was weird because look at it right here. So I'm hoping that it actually does come back as well. I'm going to keep my eye on that and see what happens, and hopefully I'm not going to lose that. All right, so here we are on the side yard, and I have this kind of like a rock garden kind of area, and what I did here was I have gravel, you can see, and then I also have these like river stones here, and then I did the white rocks to mimic like water. I wanted it to look like the water was coming out from that Alberta spruce, and it just comes down here and it spills out into this larger area right here. You can see the lily of the valley right here, how much it has spread. It is really really taking over, and I'm letting it grow because I just like it. It looks nice over here. This is a well right here, and we need to get a new pump for the well. We haven't been using it, but that's what that board is. There's a well down there. So right now I just put some hostas and some cana on there as well. This area right here is where I grow my spaghetti string beans, and then I have the hosta lining the walkway here. Uh, Again, they're absolutely tremendous. Now, right over here in this little spot right here, I usually grow some basil and parsley, and I also add some flowers just because it's the side door, to the garage that we go in and out. And also, I had a decorative screen here covering the air conditioner condensers, but it kind of fell apart during the end of last year, so I have to construct something new there. All right, so here this was a blue rug juniper, and I cut it severely back because I didn't like the way it was looking, and I wanted some more area to breathe here. And as well as this hosta, I cut in half. Believe it or not, it's still gigantic, but I cut it in half. I did all of that, I want to say, in late March. When it first started to pop up is when I cut them back. This little thing right here, this is a perennial, and it actually comes from my grandmother's yard, and I had it at the shore house, and I brought some up, and I'm beginning to propagate it and spread it because it reminds me of her whenever I look at it, and it has little purple flowers that form on it. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. I don't know the name of it. And here was another juniper, blue rug juniper, that I cut back. And then again here, look what happened. This liriope is back here, but it's being hidden by the hosta, so I might have to move it. I'm probably going to move it because the hosta will wind up killing it. Okay, and then down here again, I like to do a lot of texturing with different color rocks and so on. So you can see I use a lot of the white rocks, and in my mind it mimics the water, like a flowing kind of thing. So I mix the white with the gravel. And I also use larger rocks like this, again, to give some like texture and some interest that you're not just looking in. Notice what I try to do is I try to combine different shades so that I don't have to put flowers everywhere. I have these euonymus with the green and white, then the hosta with the another color green, then the blue rug juniper for that bluish look, then the barberry for the reddish look, and these euonymus with the yellow here, and then against the gravel and the white rocks gives it a more of a interest, that it just doesn't look like a sea of green and boring. So here you can see I don't have anything in the pots yet. I had diplodenia in here last year. I'm probably going to do that again. I was pretty happy with that, with those pink flowers. And then you see I have a yellow and green euonymus. Then I have yellow barberry here, and then more yellow and green right here to give some interest and color. And once again, rocks, white and all right, as we move up this area, you can see I have another blue rug juniper. I repeat a lot of things, repeating factors, it makes sense. And another pot that's going to get probably diplodenia with the white rocks spilling out as well. Then here I have an English boxwood flanked on each side by a barberry and a euonymus, which is white and green. Okay, here under the bay window is the another barberry, and they're not as red as they would be because I just trimmed them, so they look green. Once the sun hits them, they will turn more green. And then the Taxus hue right there, the sand cherry that I planted last year, and more hosta, and then the spiral juniper right here. These were also winterized. I know the man's truck just passed, and that is so loud. Okay, and you can see the geranium again. It kind of looks sad right now, but hopefully it'll come back. And these are the, I forgot what they're really called. They're like a Dracaena, but they're more red. Now this one I'm a little bit concerned about because, I don't know, it looks a little brownish. I'm keeping my eye on it, and again, obviously these need more flowers, as well as the steps right here. And then we're on the other side, and more English boxwood. That's actually euonymus that I trained into that shape. Another spiral juniper, sand cherry, more barberry. These are azaleas right here, and they're beginning to suffer, which it makes me nervous. You see those few spots right there? I think and they're just beginning to flower. That'll look pretty when the flowers form on that. And here we're coming around the bend, more barberry right here. I built all of these walls right here using this slate rock a while back. And then for those of you who know me, I was planning on taking this out last year. My nephew was going to come to cut it down with me. That's a dwarf Alberta spruce that just somehow went back to its natural state and became a fir tree, complete with making pine cones on it. So I'm undecided what I'm going to do with it right now, but it's too big to be where it is, so obviously it's going to have to come down, but I think I'm just waiting to the last minute. You can see more azaleas back there ready to bloom. See, this is what it looked like. This is the dwarf Alberta spruce, and then take a look at that one. Odd that that happened. And more yews, more hostas, and so on. And then down along the fence, I have more hostas as well. The grass has been growing like crazy here. We've been having crazy temperatures here. They've been getting cold. It's been very wet. It's just been absolutely ridiculous. So it's like I cut the grass twice a week. Right. And here is my bird's nest Alberta spruce, which I just trimmed, and I have more juniper rug there, hostas and sedum, and here I made this faux waterfall right here using flat rocks and then the white rocks to mimic the water coming down. Another barberry for some red color, an azalea back there, and my beautiful Chinese maple tree right here. Take a look at how beautiful that tree is. Okay, so there is that tree. I'm trying to get a view here for you. It's just such a beautiful color, you know. It's getting a little big, so I think I'm gonna have to trim it a little bit. All right, so there is my walkabout for spring, and I'll keep checking in with you to see how things are doing. Okay, everybody.